Guys, I've got the cheapest Traxxas on-road car you can buy in the UK. And in this video, we're putting it up against this Rlaarlo on-road car. It's not the cheapest on-road car you can buy, but I paid almost double for this. Let's see how they compare. I know what you're thinking. He hates Traxxas. He's just gonna make the Rlaarlo win. I'm gonna put all my thoughts of Traxxas aside on this video, and I'm gonna be as fair as I can be. I'm sure the elite Traxxas fans will not believe that, but I am gonna be. Ugh. We're gonna put it through 5 different tests, and we're gonna Why won't you come out? Come on, there we go. We're gonna compare them over 5 different categories. Value for money out the box, speed, drive-in, stroke drivability, parts availability, spares, upgrades, and finally, overall quality. I did consider doing looks, but that's kind of a personal thing, isn't it? Some people will like the hot rod style. Some people like the old school GT look. They both come in a box, almost ready to run. Well, this one is pretty much ready to run. We'll discuss that all in a minute. They both also claim the same speed, so that will be interesting. Which one can get closer to its claimed speed? Right then, first one is value for money. This is what you get in the box. We'll start with the AK-917. You obviously get the car, you get a speed pinion, you get 2 different spur gears there, you get some gaskets for your diffs and some Velcro sticky pads. You also get some more sticky pads there, Allen keys. Allen! And a wheel wrench. This one comes with a 3,300 milliamp hour 2-cell hard case LiPo with a charger, a couple of cable ties, some nice shiny stickers, a big thick manual. Is it colour? Mixture of colour and black and white. All your parts there, optional upgrades and exploded diagrams there. And you get a 4-channel transmitter. You got steering trim, steering dual rate, throttle trim, throttle dual rate, and then you got these dip switches here, which I think are used for channel reverse. And you got channel 3 and channel 4 on the top. Not bad controller. And then for the Traxxas, you get the car, you get a high-speed pinion, I think that is. Stock one is 18, and then you get this 22 for some extra speed. You get some spare body pins, wheel wrench, and again, some Allen keys.
Did someone just say my name?
Colour manual, tells you how to work it. Don't know whether it's got... No, so there's no manual on taking it apart or parts and stuff. No LiPo with this one, you have to supply your own. And then it comes with the standard 2-channel TQ transmitter from Traxxas. Quite old now, these. They're not my favourite because you can't reach it to steer. And the only thing you can adjust is your steering trim, I think. There is a button there, you can do some stuff on this, but it's not quite as easy as a generic transmitter like this. We'll talk more about what's underneath when we talk about quality, but as far as value for money goes, you're getting more with this because it includes that LiPo. You've got a 4-channel rather than a 2-channel, and then we'll just breeze over underneath. On the Rlaarlo, you're getting machined alloy shock towers, you get big bore alloy oil shocks, machined chassis, and then on the Traxxas, you got plastic shock towers. Oh, something I didn't mention as well, non-adjustable geometry on this, whereas on this you can adjust the camber and the toe, whereas you can't on the Traxxas. You're getting little plastic oil shock, plastic chassis, and removing that foam, you've got the world's biggest battery tray. But like I said, we'll talk more about that at the end when we talk about quality, but as far as value for money goes, I'd like to think you all agree with me, you get more for your money with the Rlaarlo than you do with the Traxxas. So for me, that's a Rlaarlo win on that one. So next, speed. Which one is faster straight out the box? They both claim 30 mile an hour, 50 kilometers an hour. Neither of them have a star on the box that say you have to add anything to it. Well, not that I could see anyway. So straight out the box, which one is going to get closer to that 50 kilometers an hour or 30 mile an hour speed claim? To keep it fair, I'm going to run them both on the stock Rlaarlo battery. So they have exactly the same 2-cell battery. So the specs for the ESC on the Rlaarlo say that you can run it on 3S, and the specs for Traxxas, this is up to 8.4 volts, which is the Traxxas power, whatever they are, nickel metal hydride. So for lipos, you can only run 2S on that, but on this you can run 3S. The speed runs we're doing straight out of the box are on 2S. That's what the speed claims are for, so that's what we're going to do. We're not going to run this on 3S, and this won't run on 3S. Both have a 550 motor. This one is a 12 turn. This one is a 13 turn, so very similar spec. When we talk about quality again, we'll go over the other bits and pieces, but very similar spec. Slightly longer wheelbase on that, so it might be a little bit more stable, but obviously we've got a more aero body on this. So I am interested to see which one's faster straight out of the box. So the Rlaarlo is going to set the pace. Small trim adjustment, I think. Let's see what this can do then. Here we go. That is full throttle already. That's a different experience to the last one of these I ran. Oh shit! Oh. Let's go and assess the damage. Look at the wheel marks it made. All right then. 23 miles an hour. Oh dear, that is 37 kilometers an hour. All right then, Traxxas, what you got? I reckon it's a bit faster, you know. Still don't think that's 30 though. All right then, which one of you has taken the speed crown out of the box? What? Oh no, can't have said it properly. Anyway, it gets another run. Oh, what? do you know why it's not recording? Because the GPS is still in that one. What a knob. That wouldn't be the first time I've done that. This also needed trimming out of the box. Didn't go dead straight. Right, third time lucky. 30, oh, hang on, 21. The Rlaarlo got it, that looked a bit quicker. The GPS doesn't lie. Tell you what we'd do, just to be 100% fair, let's take the battery out of this one, then let's put this in here. I know what some of you guys can be like in the comments, so that's why I'm doing this. Right, so the battery from the Traxxas is now in that. 21 to beat. Alright then, did we get another win for the Rlaarlo? Yeah, we did, only 22 that time rather than 23, but a win is a win. So another win for the Rlaarlo. The GPS doesn't lie. Even after taking the battery out of that after quite a few passes and putting it in that, it's still faster. 21, and I think we maxed 23 on that. I double checked the box. It says 30 mile an hour, 50 kilometers an hour plus, 30 plus. The Rlaarlo says 50 kilometers an hour plus. Neither of them anywhere on that box say that you need to gear them up. Neither of them have got a little star next to the speed. So they're full of shit. And they're full of shit as well. Right, lipos have been recharged. I'm going to run a pack through each. Going to have a play about, do a little bit of drifting around, jump off a few curbs. Then I'm going to come back here and I'll let you know which one I prefer. Right, let's let the Traxxas lead first. A bit damp actually, we had a bit of rain, so some slippery bits here, but tyre seems to be gripping all right. Looks good, doesn't it, this one? Whoa. Nice little street rod. Licensed, I think. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to bore you for the next, well, it's probably going to be about 20 minutes. I want to run a battery pack through each one of them. So rather than do that, let me just give you my initial thoughts after running the Traxxas for a few minutes and now this. Very similar. This seems a bit more planted though. I don't know. Just seems to turn a little bit better. Doesn't slide that back out as much. We shall see. Anyway, I'll be back once I've run the batteries down on these things. So I packed through both. Both run really well, and it's a tough decision on which one I think performed the best. I'm going to have to give it to the Traxxas on that one. Although initially this was sliding around a bit more, once them tyres got warmed up, they're quite a bit thicker than the Rlaarlo ones. Once they warmed up, this thing definitely gripped up. And although they're like tiny little shocks on there, and these have got big bore alloy ones, this one just seemed to handle a little bit better, drive a little bit nicer. Very close though, this thing still drives really well. And again, it hooked up once them tyres got a bit of heat in them. Both really good fun, but on this occasion, the Traxxas gets the point. So that makes it 2-1. 2 to the Rlaarlo, 1 to the Traxxas. So that brings it on to the next thing, which is parts, spares, upgrades, stuff like that. Move you aside. You can get all the parts for this. You can get a ton of upgrades for it. Metal upgrade, these are the orange ones. These match the orange on this one. The different body colours. Also has different alloy stuff on there. Can get red to match this colour. Loads of upgrades, metal parts, and all the spares you need. However, you can only get them from Rlaarlo, and from what I've seen, there's a little bit of an issue with shipping times for them. So unfortunately, Traxxas takes the win on parts and spares and upgrades as well, availability, because in most like hobby model shops, you can get Traxxas spares. The Vortex chassis is quite a common chassis. It's been around a while. This is the long wheelbase version. Spares and upgrades everywhere, and from what I've seen, not a bad price. So not due to lack of spares and upgrades, but the logistics of getting the spares and upgrades, sorry, we got to give another point to the Traxxas. So it's now 2 and 2. So we've got a decider. So initially I said we're going to do quality. I've changed that a little bit, quality and design. You can't really compare a full plastic rig to a predominantly metal rig quality wise, because I mean, the Traxxas, good quality plastics, it does look good, feels nice and tight, nice and solid. And then the same with this, you know, it feels nice, tight, solid, but this is all metal. So obviously Traxxas is a proven brand. It's been around a while, so we know the quality generally is up to scratch on this. Generally, not always, but most of the time. So I'm not going to drag this out. The Rlaarlo has got machine shock tower, just a normal metal shock tower there. Adjustable camber, it's got sway bars, bearings all round, metal drive shafts, metal CVDs, big bore alloy shocks, oil filled diffs, alloy centre shaft, machined and etched chassis. A really nice design, that really nice back end there with a spare wheel, very scale. You got working lights. Overall the design, very good, and I like it. The Traxxas, pretty basic design, non-adjustable camber, non-adjustable toe. I think as well, that is a plastic drive shaft there. It feels it. Well, I don't know actually, it might be metal. Anyway, plastic chassis, but like I said, it does look like well built and solid. It has got oil shocks and they do work pretty well, but I mean, if you look at the oil shocks compared to them ones, if we're going purely on quality and design, these are going to be more tunable. Even though out of the box it's not great, it just feels like it maybe needs a bit more fluid in there or some thicker fluid. By a small margin, I'm going to give it to the Rlaarlo. Now I'm sure some of you are going to disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. This is still a really good purchase. I know in the US you can get these on a really good deal, so still worth it. It's a decent platform for upgrades. You can make these things really fast, so nothing against this. It is really good. And the reason I think this is a better deal, it goes back to that value for money as well as that quality and design. You're getting loads of alloy stuff on here. You've got big bore oil shocks. You've got this nice design. I actually prefer the blue and orange one. This thing will do 70, 80 mile an hour. This thing I'm pretty sure will as well with the right upgrades. In the UK, you get a little bit more for your money with this. Better 4-channel radio. More tunable with this with them sway bars and adjustable geometry and stuff like that. But for those looking for a cheap brushed car just to run around the car park and stuff, both a solid option.